Dark Fringe Radio, your premier source for the paranormal, conspiracy theory and true crime.
Coming to you live from the Mistopheles Studios, it's Dark Fringe Radio.
I try to move, but my body won't work. I try to talk, but I lose all words. All that ever slips from my face are teeth and
Hey guys, this is Will Martinez, and thank you for joining us on another edition of Dark Fringe Radio. I'm your host, of course, and my co-host, Jay Galosi with me, as always. How are you, Jay? How's it going, brother?
Fantastic. How are you?
Fantastic. Man, it's good, man. We just had a full moon a couple days ago. That thing's beautiful. I don't know if you've taken a look at that, man. Fucking gorgeous out there. But yeah, man, everything's good, man. Can't complain. Doing my thing. But anyways, we're going to get into a new episode here of Dark Fringe Radio, episode 111. So thanks guys for keeping it going with us here, and just want to remind everybody how you can listen to the podcast. Real simple, just go to our website, darkfringeradio.com. Make sure you just go there, check it out, and make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go ahead into our YouTube as well, subscribe as well there, and all our episodes are on our website. It also connects you to the latest episode at the bottom to our YouTube, so you can see everything that we're doing on a constant basis and most recent basis right there. Just go to darkfringeradio.com. And of course, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Dark Fringe Radio. So make sure you check us out there. So yeah, so that's where you guys can check us out. Make sure, please do that. And don't forget to support the show any way you can. So we really appreciate that. And also our Facebook, if you can, we are giving away small little gift bags to anybody that gives us a review. So if you go to our page at Dark Fringe Radio on Facebook, give us a little review. We'll send you out a little care package. So a little swag, a little merchandise here from Dark Fringe Radio. So you enjoy that. And that's it. So that's it for the intro, Jay. I wanted to jump in head first tonight. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff that's been happening here in the last couple of weeks here. And a lot of relevant stuff to what we talk about here on the podcast as well. But I wanted to get right into Dark Fringe news, everybody. So right into it, head first, Jay. One of the first things I wanted to talk about was so the Devil's Tree. Remember that, Jay? Do you recall that at all?
Why are you bringing that shit up?
Yeah,
right?
Well, it's
you're like a dog. You're digging shit up that doesn't need to be.
Yeah. Start just digging, right? Yeah. Well, listen, if you guys don't recall, we did an investigation on our 100th episode, Jay and I, and we actually went out to the Devil's Tree. And if you guys haven't checked out this episode, I highly implore you guys to go ahead and check this out. It's one of the best episodes that we've ever done. It was an actual investigation that Jay and I did at a tree where a serial killer, who was also a cop, decided to kill actually now 3 women at this particular tree. Why I say now 3? Because Jay, just as recent as a few weeks ago, Riviera Beach, Florida, which is not very far from us here, Jay, of course, in the same Palm Beach County area. Skeletal remains found in Florida mangrove swamp in 1974 have been identified as a missing teen, and authorities surmise that they may have been fallen to a victim of a serial killer who authorities once said made Ted Bundy look like a Boy Scout. And who we're talking about here is John Gerard Schafer. If you guys haven't heard the story, again, I implore you guys to check out our episode 100 on YouTube. I mean, we gave a pretty damn good mini documentary almost on this whole situation where this cop ended up being an actual serial killer. And this happened in the early to mid 70s. And it was a pretty crazy case here, Jay. And me and Jay actually went out there, had an investigation. We took some EVPs and we had some pretty crazy stuff that happened out there, huh, Jay?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. EVP readers suddenly spiking and then shutting off and not turning back on. Just a weird presence. There was that whole branch that I kept ending up underneath.
And
good times. Good time.
Yeah, Jay's not real particularly fond of investigating, and that's actually kind of a good thing because you want to have a person there that has that energy. You don't want everybody doing this, having the same vibe. So I always love to have Jay with me because he's just like on like pins and needles, right? And
Awesome.
he kept yeah, but I assure him he was completely
Blessed be
safe.
thy name.
Yeah, no, he was completely safe. We were all safe. Nothing happened. Nothing followed us home. I made sure of that everything was good. But all in all, we caught some pretty crazy EVPs there.
Sounds.
But yeah, some crazy stuff. I think at one point I asked, the presence that was there, why did you do what you did to those women? And then 5 seconds later, something came over and said I made a mistake.
I'm pretty sure you were cursing it out.
Yeah, I was actually being very I was being aggressive because of the nature of this person, the spirit. The spirit was not a good spirit anyway, and I wasn't afraid to clash with it. So, especially somebody who kills women. So, anyways, long story short, Jay, now there is a new victim that has been identified. Susan Gail Poole was 15 when her family reported her missing from the Broward County trailer park just before Christmas in 1972. Nobody knew where she went, and her clothes and her pocketbook were still at her friend's apartment where she was staying at. So at the time, Poole's family and friends did not know if she had left on her own accord or she had left, something bad happened. Nobody knew what happened. She was a hitchhiker, and that's actually one of the attributes that John Gerard Schafer exploited. Basically, he was one of those guys who would pick up hitchhikers and oppose. Of course, he was a cop. He wasn't even posing. He was a real cop. And, take them out in the middle of nowhere and have his way with them and kill them eventually. So, yeah. So now we have this new victim here, Jay, that 48 years later, they have identified this lady as a victim of John Gerard Schafer. And it seems like this guy was a lot more prolific than we originally thought.
Well, apparently.
Yeah.
But hey, spoiler alert, he's a piece of shit.
And he's dead. So yeah. And he was killed by another inmate.
And we went to the tree that you cannot burn nor cut down.
Yes.
You yelled at a ghost. There was all kinds of crazy shit that happened. I was there. I'm a member.
Yeah. We got to go back during the dark though, Jay. It was like dusk. It was like almost dark. It wasn't dark yet, but you know how weird it was, right, Jay? When we were in there, like there was no animal sounds. It was
it was far too fucking quiet.
It was super quiet,
you're not
right?
Dragging me back there at night. You're out of your fucking mind.
Dude, we got to go back at night, bro. Especially now that there's a third victim now. We gotta entice this thing even more. See what else we can get.
Oh yeah, super duper, my fellow pooper. Let's just go right out there and get right in the mix of it.
Oh yeah.
No,
you're not ready for that, Jay? No. You're not ready for that smoke, huh? Okay.
No.
Well, listen. All this was.
Hey, let me just
go ahead.
Some shit up. Let me just so you guys know, it's not because I'm afraid of so many things. It's not because I'm afraid of a lot of things. I have had some really crazy fucking experiences. I have had unwarranted experiences. I don't want to go out somewhere and tempt the fate with some kind of weird third eye I might have that I don't know I have, but I want to know I have it. So I just try to not wipe that eye off.
And you can't do anything against it. You can't punch it.
Apparently not. No, I just stand there.
Just take it.
You can't double leg take down a ghost. It doesn't work.
No, you can't. It doesn't work. Yeah, you go right through
face.
it. Right, exactly. Well, listen, this is all due, of course, to part of DNA evidence, and that was left. Of course, there were just bones that were left at the scene of the crime, but they were able to link the DNA and evidence into a lab and link the two together. And it's just amazing, Jay, that this guy still has victims to this day, and I'm sure there's more. There's got to be more than just three. It just seems to me that like a guy just doesn't do that once or twice. You know what I'm saying?
No, and really, usually you'll see in a pattern that they tend to get caught when they tend to get sloppy, when they tend to start to get a little too comfortable in their pattern, and now they've got it down pat. But because they're going more through the motions, it's not as detailed, and that's what happened to him, and that's what happened to a lot of them. Is they get sloppy and they get caught.
Right.
So what we've gotten so far was him being sloppy, allowing the girls to one of the girls to get away, right?
Ends up at the police station where he actually was at.
With you, right?
Which is fucked up, right? That's like a twisted
luck.
serial killer movie, right?
Well, it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, exactly. Where the whole
Right?
town is like, yeah. Yep.
She thinks she gets to the gas station for help, and what ends up happening? Well, Army Navy busts out her boyfriend's teeth.
And takes her away back to the house again. Oh man, but yeah, it's a harrowing tale, man. And I just I hope there's no more victims, but I have some guttural feeling that there may be more out there. Yeah, it's just because of the way this guy was, and I think he just got sloppy eventually, like what Jay said, like what you said, Jay. I mean, he just, eventually that's what happens. They end up getting sloppy, they get too comfortable, and something happens, and they can't, find their way out of it. So, nonetheless, there may be another investigation in the future there, Jay, for the Devil's Tree, knowing now that there's more victims out there.
Sure.
Well, Jay, listen, our next article that I wanted to actually go over was there's actually this footage of the moon. Have you seen this lately, Jay? It being struck by a rocket.
You sent it to me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy. I actually want to share it with everybody here. Let me work a little editorial magic here. And let's see what I can do real quick. And so that way you guys, the ones that are only listening to us here on the show, just look up March 4, 2022 moon crash on YouTube, and you'll be able to see what the heck we're able to see too. And I'm going to play this here for everybody. So let's see here. Boom, boom. You see that, Jay?
I do.
All right, let's play this real quick. So you'll be seeing something coming from the right-hand side here. You see that white dot. Check this out, Jay. Dude. It's fucking wild, huh?
I mean, that's crazy.
But yeah, again.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Who really knows what it was? It's hard to tell.
They said they already knew what it was, and that's why they were able to anticipate it hitting the moon. They already knew it was going to hit the moon. They knew like a week out. It's weird. Like they knew a week out that there was this part from a Chinese rocket that went off fucking kilter or something like that, ends up going into like orbit and then starts coming back, and they can see it coming back, and they're able to predict it a week out. And they're like, okay, it's going to hit this day, and it's going right for the moon. And that's what the result
crazy.
Of what you saw. Yeah. Isn't that nuts, man?
Yeah. All right. Now, see, I didn't know. I thought we were coming at the, what do we think it was? Do we think it was Russia? Do we think it was aliens? I didn't realize we were going, I didn't know you knew actually more about it. My bad, friends.
No. Listen. And again, that's what the media is telling us. We really don't know what's going on. I mean, come on.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. He was
I said,
on the path.
pull you back.
He
Pull you back.
He had it. It's some part from a Chinese satellite. It was like
that was a rocket.
It
was a rocket.
They told us. See, for a minute, he sounded like he had all of his nuts and bolts. I apologize, guys.
I had to put my tinfoil hat on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Seriously.
Come on, man. We know what happened to JFK, man. No, listen, it's an interesting story, though. I mean, I don't think ever in my lifetime I've ever seen anything like that. Something hit the moon like that with such velocity.
I don't think we ever thought we would.
No, and it captured so clearly on camera like that, which is amazing. Things like that would have not been possible 20, 30, 40 years ago. You know what I mean? It's just unbelievable. And if we did, it would have been so grainy and just poor quality.
I mean, listen, if you dumb it down enough, Reagan won the Cold War by saying we were going to have laser guns in space.
That's true.
And Russia said, well, we can't afford that shit. What are you doing?
You know what's funny, Jay? I was watching a documentary, and they were showing some older footage of like a news thing that they had captured like in the 80s. And it's amazing how bad I realized how bad the quality of the video quality was in the 80s. I'm like, fuck, it was bad. Like it was grainy. Terrible. It was like not even 420 something. Like it was less than that. It was horrible,
Those
man.
are
I've
also
never seen.
tubes.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, but I look back on it
we-
as like, really, I don't remember it being that bad. But I guess because
No.
when you're growing up and you see the whole progression of it, like we have, you know what I mean? It's hard for us to differentiate, you know. But when you haven't seen it in so long, and you look back at it, you're like, holy shit, that was horrible.
We go back
Like-
and play some old video games.
Well, that too, yeah. But
I
I've been
love
doing
Metal
that.
Gear Solid. Love Metal Gear Solid. If somebody said you can only play one video game for the rest of your life,
It'd be that
Metal
one.
Gear Solid is the game I'm going to play. Period.
Yeah.
End of discussion. It never gets tiring for me.
Right.
That being said,
The graphics are
I-
not that great.
played it recently, and the gameplay is shit.
It
And
is.
the
It's not that
graphics are
good.
Crap. It is
Right.
terrible.
But for its time, though, it was fucking
it
the
was
shit.
the bomb.
Yeah,
my
it
point.
was. Yeah.
My
When we
point.
saw that, we were like, what great graphics. Like, oh my God. You could see the facial, like, this on his face. And like, man, come on. Come on,
It
man.
was creepy.
Yeah, it was good, though. It was good.
No
but
face
yeah,
in the head moved to make them.
what a great story, though. That's a great story
Yeah.
overall. Yeah. Well, Jay, I want to bring our last story here for tonight. There was a eerie humanoid, captured on home security footage in Kentucky. I don't know if you saw this here, Jay. I think I sent that one to you
did.
too.
You did.
But yeah, here in Moorhead, Kentucky, there was some security footage here, and it looks pretty damn creepy, man. I want to go ahead and share this here too. And so you see the little creepy looking dude here in the middle?
Yes.
Yeah, here we go. Let's share this here. Yeah, look at that. It looks like me when I get up on a Sunday morning.
After a really good Saturday night.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of liqueur.
You see his face clearly.
Bro, I don't know. What is that, man? It's pretty
I mean-
interesting, huh?
You say Kentucky?
Kentucky, Moorhead, Kentucky. Yep.
I could venture a guess, but I don't think you'll like it.
Uh-oh. You think it's a crackhead? The local crackhead? Looking for copper?
Kentucky, William.
Looking to rip copper out of the fucking AC units?
No. It's a meth head in a unitsuit, my guy. It's a meth
Oh,
head
you
in
think
a
so?
unitsuit. It's Kentucky. They don't do
No?
it's meth or nothing.
He was walking kind
battery-
of slow for meth. Kind of slow
Battery
for
acid,
meth. No?
not if you have enough. Not
That's
if you have
true.
so much that you wear a unisuit to be like the Flash, and you think that if you move slow enough, you're actually going faster than the speed of light because you're yoked up on meth, my friend.
You think it was a unisuit, dude? You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see it again one more time. We gotta see this shit one more time. I mean, it could be. Let's see. Let's see.
Like, yeah, it's humanoid-ish.
It
Okay.
is. It's walking around like its back was thrown out.
Both been there. We're old as fuck.
Yeah. It looks like it's about to take a poop.
So I'm saying, right there, it actually kind of looks like a penis for a half a second.
Look, there's something hanging from its like beard. Did you see that?
Vomit.
It could be. Wow.
That's what I'm
Anyway,
saying. Like, it's not. I get it. It's fucking weird. If
is weird.
that shit was walking in my front yard, I'd be. Well,
yeah.
if
What
that shit
would
was walking in my front
what would you do? Like if you like caught
I'd
that
go
on your
outside. Come on, man. Come on, dog. You know exactly what happens. You represent the Boynton.
yeah. So you
No,
go right
you-
outside, and what happens?
You look like a walking piece of snot, and you're walking around my front yard. I'm
Yeah.
coming out, homie.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna have some. We're gonna have some words. Even if you speak, you know, I don't know. It's,
Hey, you know what's funny?
Fuck off, brother.
You were just in Connecticut, and it just reminded me of a story talking about things you see in the dark and at night. So my aunt lives like in this apartment complex in Waterbury, Connecticut. Anyways,
Okay.
there was this guy who was like, I don't know, half cracked out, whatever, you know, Puerto Rican dude, just half. I don't know if he was in the war or something, but anyways, every few days like maybe 2-3 days. And I'm not shitting you, Jay. This was for real. I thought this was just like some kind of bullshit urban legend or something. This guy would like dress up in a ninja outfit and like run around and just like start doing flips and shit and start like parkouring around the whole fucking place, basically. And I never seen nothing like that in my life. You know what I mean? I think I was like 16, 17 years old.
Sure.
And all of a sudden it's like 9:00 at night, and all of a sudden I see this guy in a ninja outfit just running around. I mean, it had to be drug induced. It had to be, but you know, again, hey, listen, things that you see in the dark in apartment complexes, you never know. But yeah, man, that's the third and final story for tonight. Just for tonight, you know, Dark Fringe News, man. Wanted to go over some crazy shit that's happening around the world here in the United States. And hopefully we did that. So anyways, we're going to get into our next segment here, Jay, which is What the F Florida Man. And this is a segment that Jay takes care of here. And he scours the internet for hours and hours, and then it looks for the craziest stories that come out of this great state of Florida. So Jay, what do you have for us tonight for What the F Florida Man?
In my hours and hours of scouring, the very first thing that came up. Florida man pretended to be Disney World staffer to steal famous character, police say.
Wow. So he pretended to be a worker to steal what exactly, Jay?
So he was trying to steal the Star Wars R2-D2 statue that's worth
Had to be a nerd.
$10,000.
Had to be a nerd. It was an R2-D2 statue that was worth $10,000, huh?
$10,000.
$10,000
R2-D2 statue.
How far did he get, Jay?
He didn't get far at all.
No?
So he went in. Basically, what he did was he went in, applied for the Disney World security job. He
Right.
got the tag, the name tag.
Gotcha.
He then just put it on his shirt and went and tried to take it.
That's it. He didn't even wait, like try to come up with some kind of schemes, case the area, figure out a way to get it out. No? He's just like trying to take it. And that thing had to weigh a ton, no? I'm sure.
I'm gonna guess it wasn't light at all.
No.
No, it could not have been light. It does not say. It doesn't give you the weight of the particular R2-D2.
Right.
You're asking far deeper questions.
No, but I mean, you can just surmise that it shouldn't weigh like light. It's got to weigh a fucking ton. Yeah.
No, it's an R2-D2 statue. You know, it was when you come out of the Star Wars ride simulator and you're going down. They have those. He was trying to take that one.
What an idiot! What an idiot! Young guy, probably less than 25, I guess. Right? How old was this guy? Do you know?
It didn't give his age.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
From the way it read, I actually think he's a bit older. I think he's a little bit closer to like 50.
Wow. So this was a very failed plan from the beginning, Jerry. He didn't even figure out an escape plan. Didn't take into account maybe the weight of this thing, how he was going to get this thing out of there.
My guess is his mom was very surprised to see him go by her in cuffs.
Well, now he's got to go back home to the basement, man. Unfortunately. I mean, it is what it is, right?
It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Could be worse.
Wow. Hey, listen, it could have been a lot worse. You know what I mean? But again, he could have got away with it, right? How are the odds of that happening, right? Like 1,000 to 1?
In Florida, William, you never know.
That's true. You never know. Weirder things have happened.
Not in Florida.
Yeah, anything is possible here. You're right. So, well, Jay, thanks for that entertaining Star Wars themed What the F Florida Man. Jay, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Tonight, we're going to get into our next segment here, which is the main topic for tonight. We're going to get into the alternate universe. We're going to be talking about CERN, the Georgia Guidestones, and are we living in a simulation? So we're going to get into all that here in a minute. So please sit tight, hang on. We'll be right back with more Dark Fringe Radio.
Ever since Linda started working, our kids are home alone.
We tried hiring a nanny, but she wanted health insurance.
Yeah, right. That's when we had Domestabot. He's great with the kids.
Mrs. Lawrence, Tommy has some skin magazines under the bed.
And he helps us, too.
Would you like your drink freshened?
He's a great conversation piece at our special parties.
Please put your car keys in the hat and the fun will begin.
It's like having a personalized alarm clock.
I brought you a drink.
Ah, it's 8 in the morning.
I made it a double.
Oh, Domestabot.
Domestabot. He's 3 foot high. He only says 10 phrases. He's the friend you've always dreamed of. Order Domestabot today.
All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us back here at Dark Fringe Radio. We got a lot to talk about here tonight, Jay. We're going to be talking about simulation theory. We're going to be talking about the Georgia Guidestones and a lot of other crazy shit that's been going on here. So, Jay, last week, the Georgia Guidestones blew up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not cool.
They blew up, man. And so this was some people think it was a good thing. I don't know. Depends on, who you are. We'll get into the whole conspiracy side of the Georgia Guidestones, but the Guidestones were destroyed in the pre-dawn hours of July 6th when residents heard the thunderous roar created when someone set off a bomb that shattered one of the 19-foot high, 28-ton blocks of granite. The capstone set atop of the monument was also heavily damaged. Teams with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Bomb Unit, and the U.S. Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives are investigating the type of explosive that was used, but the GBI agent Jesse Maddox said Friday that the results have not been released. More than likely, it's probably dynamite. I don't know what else can fucking shatter granite like that the way that it did. And if you go to our website, darkfringeradio.com, you can actually see the video of the Guidestones being blown up. They actually have security footage of it. So pretty interesting. You just see a fucking bunch of granite just being exploded into the air and in the middle of the night. But nonetheless, it's known as America's Stonehenge. It's been there for 42 years, and a lot of people are sad about it, and some people are actually happy about it here. Jay, are you familiar with any of the the conspiratorial parts of the Georgia Guidestones?
William, part of what makes this whole dynamic work, as you said earlier, because I tend to be a bit novice at some of these things, and I tend to keep that third eye closed, and you tend to want to pry it the fuck open, and that, in essence, is why we do this. Yes,
you're absolutely right. The reason why, that's a no. So let me enlighten you here, Jay. Some of the secrets regarding the Georgia Guidestones. It's perched on the highest point of the country, or the county, the county. It's almost 6 foot meter high pillars. It has the 10 Commandments placed on it. And it's meant to prevent an apocalyptic future, basically. It's repeated in 8 living and 4 dead languages on all the pillars. And the commandments are included to maintain humanity under 500 million. In perpetual balance with nature, to unite humanity with a new living language that will unite all of us. Like a solar clock, notches are marked on the structure to orient the relation to the North Star or to the sun's solstices, and equinoxes. So the mysterious aspect of the monument is also due to the fact that the creators remain unknown. People really don't know who created this, why it's out there. As do their personal motivations. In 1979, a man calling himself Robert Christian commissioned the Elberton Granite Association to build the edifice, and only Wyatt Martin, the president of the Granite City Bank, knows to this day the true identity of Robert Christian. So the banker also signed a confidentiality agreement designed to preserve the client's anonymity. Mr. Martin only reported that this man claimed to be a part of a small group of quote unquote loyal Americans. And so, they don't know who the actual person.
First off, that means it's anonymity.
Anonymity, yes. Excuse me. Thank you, Jay.
I don't think okay. So when he's renaming, look at that. That's what I get for fixing that.
Weepa!
Hey,
there it is.
The dog hair weed.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't know about that.
That's what I get for being a
Ixnay on the
cocky asshole right there that eats quay. So, that doesn't make any sense. As I was going to say,
yes.
You want to remain anonymous when you're doing something like that. Whether it was built in the 70s. I mean,
yeah, 80s, but yeah. All
right. Oh, okay, 80s. It was built in the 80s.
No far off. Yeah.
I mean, maybe that person's onto something with the whole population control, because we might be running out of some things: helium, water, land, whatever. So it would be good to certainly keep an eye on that. But what are you going to do? Tell people they can't have kids? Sure.
Right.
So I get it. Sounds like it's on point. And 10 Commandments, of course, nobody insane ever spouts those things off. So obviously, as someone who is super duper sane, like Thanos.
Yeah, that's actually something I wanted to bring up. I mean, it's actually something that makes, as you get older, you kind of start to it's weird. Like if you're a young kid, I think, like if you're like 15, 20, 25, and you see that movie, and you're like, oh, that's so horrible. Like, why would he want to do that? But then you're like 40, like us. And you're like, actually, that's not such a bad idea, right? It's like, the world actually might be kind of a better place if we wiped out, you know what I mean? A good little section of people here or there, but, and all, kidding aside, of course, I understand what you're saying. It's kind of weird because when you have a monument like that, especially when it's religious based, of course, you're talking about the commandments, they have on there, and then keeping the population to a minimum. Yeah, that's a little bit weird. You know what I mean? And then you're going to display it in 4 dead languages, which, goddamn, I mean, nobody uses Latin anymore. I mean, you know what I mean? Nobody does read Latin. It's not a common.
Again,
yeah.
I will point out these are all the actions of someone who is clearly well within their faculties.
Yeah. Apparently, I mean, and it's crazy because this place for some time has become a place for prayer for some, including the singer Yoko Ono. She was actually one of those people who actually went to the Guidestones and prayed there, and had a huge reaction to that place. But of course, this place has a lot of naysayers and a lot of people that think that this is a very nefarious thing. So in 2008, an inscription that was spray painted, "Death to the New World Order," was basically spray painted on there or painted on there. And of course,
human beings are some wonderful creatures, aren't they? Human beings are some fantastic, absolutely wonderful creatures. Holy shit, people. Even if it is nefarious, even if it is stupid, maybe it's a crazy person, maybe it was someone trying to try a cult. Maybe it was just a rich guy playing a really big practical joke that has gone way too deep because he didn't tell anybody what the punchline was. Just a bunch of people are taking it for whatever it is. But come on, man.
Yeah.
Spray paint does. This is why we can't have nice things. This is why.
Right. Yeah. Well, people take things too seriously sometimes, I think, you know what I mean? And they get worked up about things that it really makes no consequence to their life. It has no effect on their life. And that they don't realize that. And unfortunately becomes like this downward spiral for some of these people, and they just, get out of control. But so they did that. They, of course, spray painted through that. And that's, of course, a theory to explain that there is a nefarious, group of people that are getting together and, conspiring against the rest of the world and figuring out how to depopulize the world and, have men not have babies anymore and so on and so forth. But nonetheless, I mean, Alex Jones got involved in this whole thing too. That crazy nut, right?
I'm not impressed.
Yeah. He said that the Stones are basically out there to say he wants to explain that they want to wipe out humanity, and saying that COVID-19 had something to do with it as well, and tying all that shit together. Right. Third, right? Yeah. So again, interesting story. They're actually talking about the granite people of the areas getting together and reformulating the structure again. So we'll see if that happens. The person that supposedly made this thing also left a note saying that there was going to be a time capsule that was under there buried beneath the structure, there wasn't. They dug about 7 feet into the ground until they got into like red clay, I guess Georgia red clay, where you can't go any further. And basically that said, hey, that we didn't find anything down there. So no time capsule, nothing nefarious there so far. So what do you think? They should they rebuild it there, Jay? What do you think?
Well, I think, in all earnest, all laughs aside, because some people do take that thing very serious and hold it in high regard.
Right.
If those people prefer it be rebuilt and they want to go ahead and do what need to be done to get it done, then all best to them. I think I would hope that maybe they could see that there's more. No, again, I don't think it's nefarious. I really do think it's one wealthy, eccentric asshole just being a wealthy, eccentric asshole. I really do.
Just say, hey, listen, let me do something that just, just for shits and giggles.
Always been there, if it had always been there since like
right, that'd be one thing.
Time,
yeah,
totally different. Creepy as fuck. Hold the horses.
Right.
My car is old.
Right. Exactly.
I don't know why.
Exactly.
I don't know why I just spent too much time in the city last week.
Well, interesting story nonetheless, and it kind of ties into what we're going to be talking about here tonight, because CERN, they turned on the hadron collider again, and they did that at the beginning of the month here, and a lot of people think that we just wiped ourselves out and we're living in an alternate dimension. And that's what we're really going to be talking about here tonight. Are we living in a simulation here, Jay? Is this all a part of a grand map, a grand scheme? Is this are we living in a computer game right now? Are we living in The Sims? Am I living in The Sims? Am I podcasting right now in a simulation? Are we podcasting right now in a simulation, Jay? Is this all just some computer game? Is this like Grand Theft Auto, but just more wide scale and not so violent? Well, still violent, but what do you think? I mean, you had the Hadron Collider go on, right? CERN has been the center of like so much conspiracy. I mean, to sacrificing people there, demonic, ties, wanting to, open black holes and alternate universes by using this, piece of equipment, all this stuff. And now they actually, cranked it up again to its highest potential. It's more powerful it's ever been before. And they're actually able to start to, open up more understanding of quantum physics and learning how they actually can send information quantumly, which is pretty interesting. We never thought that was even possible before, but knowing that we could do that now, there's these things called the metaverse, Facebook trying to get the metaverse out there. That's basically a whole nother dimension, really, if you really think about it, even though it's more, still on this plane or a plane of existence. It's kind of like a different dimension, because if you can put on a suit and basically be in a different area and see yourself and feel things that, you feel that are real, what's the difference of that and actually living? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, at this point, I think we're living in The Sims. Do I think we're in video games and such? No, I don't. But friends, I am an optimist. I see things. So my feelings on the whole situation. I don't think we're living in a simulation yet. This I could see where with the Hadron Collider coming on, you could actually make a statement for it may have done something. It sent out something that has changed a lot of things for a lot of people, because there's more.
They say the Mandela effect they're saying the Mandela effect is part of that. It might be.
That was such a subtle thing in the first place. It wouldn't shock me if all of a sudden there were those things that just happened to be real now that weren't. Right. I could see, as crazy as that might sound to my 12-year-old self, I could see how you might make an argument for that with all of what we know about quantum physics and such. But I don't think we're living in a simulation. This is real. This is reality. This table in front of me, it's an actual table. You are my actual friend. When I slap you in the face tomorrow, it's going to be your actual stupid face. Now, that being said, I could see where very fast with this metaverse and everybody trying to escape the reality that maybe has been kickstarted thanks to CERN. Maybe, who knows? It could be.
Right. Could be.
But maybe with people trying to have this mass mental and spiritual exodus, this metaverse is offering a very dangerous, very scary escape, because it's very easy to say, oh no, this world's kind of burning around us. Let me jump into here and everything just feels nice and happy. And it's how I created it. Because very easily that could turn into, when you're looking at artificial intelligence and you're looking at the metaverse, like some guy just spent $120,000 buying property in the metaverse.
Right.
It's not real.
Yeah.
There's not actual land.
Right.
If anything, not that I don't know exactly how the whole interwebs and routers and such work. I don't know if there's like one computer, there's like one tower that like holds everything for, you know.
Well, so Facebook is going to be behind it. Yeah, Facebook is behind it. Basically, they're the ones creating the metaverse. So, yeah, and that's why they changed their name to Meta. Yeah,
I picked up on their subtle marketing there, buddy.
Yeah, you saw that.
It's
coming.
I mean, like baseball bat to the face.
Yeah. So you have this metaverse coming. You have people actually spending money, actual tangible, capital. When does it become different in the actual world, in the actual living world that we think that we're living in, our reality? If we're actually spending money, that much money already in the metaverse, if we're going to be doing that, there's really not much difference. Really, it's just really saying, "Oh, I'm on this side of the universe or this dimension now," or this. It's weird now. We're gonna be entering a really weird time here in the next 10 to 20 years, especially with all this metaverse stuff that's going on, and the simulation thing that I think that we are actually a part of. I think that a simulation could be even in a way to explain it differently. It doesn't have to be a computer system or a video game, but it could be a design that was made by some type of, higher power. You know what I mean? I think that's what we're living in. I think that's the simulation I think that we're in, I think right now.
So yes, in those terms, you can't deny that we are living in a product that turns us into essentially money farms. We are a product. We're
ant farm.
We're inconsequential, even the most important of us on the grandest schemes of even what we now know with all these things we're seeing from NASA are the smallest to scale. I mean,
right.
Jesus, how little are we?
Yes, but at the same time though, Jay, as minuscule as we are as far as beings and as far as the cogs in the universe are concerned, the universe and the world that we live in has been designed for us to prosper. Really, if you really think about it, all the things that are, everything that's given to us, all the things, fossil fuels, everything that we've learned to use as far as, something that we can use for energy or to use it, to advance our civilization. That I think is a product of a design. It had to, because it just doesn't end up perfect like that. If it was just something that was thrown together, it would just be a completely clusterfuck. I mean, it would never work. You know what I mean? Humanity would never prosper. And to me, at least in my opinion. I mean, what do you think, Jay?
Well, no. See, I think we evolved to put ourselves in this position. I think our natural herd mentality that brought us together and gave us society in the first place, those things that gave us some of the greatest pieces of humanity, are also the thing that if we don't monitor, it can very quickly turn against us. So, case in point, right? We all have jobs. We all have bills to pay. We have no choice but to take part in some of these things. Now, we have choices in how we do it. We have choices in how we make those things happen.
Right.
But those who don't, look what happens to them. I was just in New York City. I don't know how many people I saw who clearly had just pissed and shit themselves while sitting on the stairs. The Grand Central Station. I mean, historical piece of property here. We are talking unbelievable monument. And these people are just there, but they don't have any other choice. They have nowhere else to go. And who knows what their life story is, what led them there. But my point is, yes, we are living in a system that is set up that we have to do certain things. We pay these taxes to do these things in these ways. And I do believe there's a lot of government control. And I believe that there's something beyond the government. I don't think the president has as much power as anybody believes he does. I don't think, I don't think there's a whole lot. I don't think we know a lot of what happens. I guarantee that there's more going on that you can't even begin to scratch the surface of how deep the bullshit and lies go. And it crosses so many things. But yeah, I'm with you on that one. Explain it like that in reality terms, as we are living in a program in which we don't have a choice. It's plug and play, and you kind of little moments of personality, but for the most part, it's robot through life.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I'm with you on that one. But if you tell me that one day someone's gonna pull a fucking plug out of the back of my base of my skull and tell me I'm gonna be able to do kung fu, I'm gonna tell you you can suck my dick. YouTube. Family.
I love this. I love this self-editing right there. But yeah, no, I get it, brother. I get it. Yeah. It's strange. When you get older, you start thinking about these things more and more. Because I think your humanity and your death is looming, not too much further down as you get, towards your 40s, you're like halfway there, you think about it. So you start about
a happy episode, guys.
Oh, it is. But it's crazy to think that there's things that we're doing now though, Jay, in our technology wise, that is ascending humankind to a different level. We're not talking about, oh, we got some cell phones now. Oh, great. We got some apps. Great. This is different. We're going to be
interstellar travel.
Yeah.
We're talking Star Trek shit.
Yeah.
But we have to be careful, William. We have to be careful. Because as silly as this going to sound, I'd rather have Star Trek than Wall-E.
Well, listen, I think we all would rather have that. Yeah.
But again, I think we're on our way to Wall-E.
Unfortunately, yes, because I think there's a lot of people that greed is involved when it comes to these things, and of course, money's always involved. And how to make money and how to perpetuate each other's greed is always the catalyst of things that every fucking bad thing that's ever happened in the history of the world. Besides that and religion, but yeah.
It's weird how the two tend to be hand in hand.
Right? It really does tend to be hand in hand. It really does. But again,
I don't know why I said that's so weird.
No. It should be said that way. And because it's a weird thing. Also, now that technology is advanced, we're able to supposedly download our consciousness and it harbor an AI type of sentient being. Now, I'm sure you heard this or not, but Google has like an AI thing that actually has become sentient. Have you heard about this here, Jay?
Yeah, yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Skynet, dude. If I had to put my money on it, it's Skynet. That's what's happening.
That's what's going to happen.
Skynet.
It's going to be some version of that, right? Yeah. Hopefully not.
Minus the time traveling portion that comes back to save humanity. I believe that. Yeah, that's my personal guess.
So, what do you think happens here, Jay? So, eventually, we're going to be able to download our consciousness into some type of program. Jay, you and I, we're going to turn 60 in 20 something years, and by then there's going to be a company that's going to be out there that's going to say, hey, you're going to come in and we're going to be able to scan your brain, take some of your DNA, and we're going to code an AI sentient being of you, and you're going to basically be able to live forever in this AI world, or maybe a metaverse, or some type of version of a metaverse where your loved ones, your living loved ones can actually go back and talk to you. What do you think about that?
What we're talking about is manufacturing consciousness.
Yes.
Do you realize just how deep that shit is? Forget.
Think about it. Listen, if they were to observe you, Jay, let's just say for a year, 1 year, 1 year.
1 year. 1 year.
And they observe everything that you do and say and react to. Think about that. So all the good news and all the bad news that you get throughout the year, as as minuscule and as monumental as they may be in between, your reactions, and they learn from that.
Mm-hmm.
And because they've learned from that, they're able to mimic the same thing. So downloaded consciousness Jay will still give me the middle finger when I say hi to him. Exactly. You understand what I'm saying? Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't think that's possible?
No, you
is.
can totally make a robot that every time it sees you will flip you off volume. I believe we have that technology. But no, I don't think that you can actually download someone's sentience, someone's being, someone's essence, the thing that makes us who we are, the thing that is why I do the stupid shit I do. We were just talking about it. Is because whatever it is at that one moment of spark that creates whatever it is that makes us who we are, I don't think you can duplicate it. I don't think we can manufacture it. Yeah, you can download at some point. They'll be able to read all the parts of the brain, and they'll be able to download all that shit, and I'm sure that they'll be able to make some unbelievable things that are AI, digital, synthetic. I mean, it's not real. It's not you. It's not what was intended. It's not natural. It's a memory card.
It is. It's a memory card, a PlayStation. Yeah. No, it's go ahead.
Now, would I do something like that? Sure, my family's grieving process was easier. Absolutely. Do I wish there was something like that so I could go back and ask my dad questions and maybe get something close to what happened? Absolutely. 110%. But do I think that would make it so they were living forever? Not a chance.
Interesting. I can see the benefit in that. Absolutely. I can see the benefit in that. It's a really interesting question. If they're able to actually do that, of course, it's not going to be your true 100% self. But if they're able to do that and actually get it down pretty goddamn good, Jay, you know what I mean?
I mean, for healing purposes alone,
right?
Process of grieving, helping ease that sense of miss. I miss my dad every single day.
I know you do. I know you do.
All the time. Yeah. I have so many questions I would love to ask that man. You have no idea. But if this was something that had been offered, and they said we could do this and give you something that when you go and you can have a conversation with it, it'll give you some, you can have a conversation, or it just tells you a story or anything like that, I would be on board. And if that was something that my children would want and it was available, I would absolutely go do that. I can see tremendous upside.
Yeah, I can see that too. It's interesting to think that, that would even be possible, but it's even more, crazy to think that one day, Jay, that, there's going to be more than, just regular options for, people that are in that process, going through, that whole grieving process and losing a loved one. And, maybe that'll be something in the future that's going to be available. Who knows? That may be a good healing thing for some people, which, I can see the benefit of. Also, another thing that I've always wondered, how about if we are the AI that's become sentient? How about if we were the AI at one point, we were the caveman? Let's just say it was a rudimentary version of AI of that time, the caveman, and we gained consciousness. We were able to have feelings. Maybe we didn't have feelings. Maybe it was just so cavemanish. We didn't know how to process those things. We didn't even have those things to even understand it. Even the concept of having feelings was not even, it was a far gone thing. It didn't even enter our mind maybe back then. Do you think maybe we are the AI that's gained consciousness? And that's why we like to also simulate other things while we play video games and want to be in the metaverse and do things like that. I mean, think about it. We love that stuff, right? Everybody loves playing video games, or most people to some extent, and doing things that are
we all have our
virtually
right. Yeah, well listen, we all have our things we like to kick back, and I play video games. We all have our things. It's an extra thing to help take you out of reality. It's something to help you detach from what you know is real and not fake. And that right there is kind of the whole crux of pretty much the entire conversation we kind of had tonight. Video games are great, and it's been something we've talked about, the evolution of them. And I think our generation had the sweet spot, but I might also be biased because we had the very beginning of video games, but we still get to play all these great ones. Like I was playing Uncharted earlier, even the earlier ones, really good graphics. It's unbelievable, a lot of great fun, but it's not real, and it helped me unwind from my day. So you kind of, that's where it has to we have to edge it. I don't think you can say that we were once we were just caveman, and we became sentient. We were cavemen, and we evolved into what we are. Now, a really interesting conversation is, where exactly do we come in? Because if I was to put on a tinfoil hat, not that I am, by the by, but if I was to put on a tinfoil hat, I would actually say we were aliens. And now the fact that we're traveling back to Mars is actually us going back to finding why we fucking left in the first place.
Yep, that might be good. I mean, that might be a very plausible explanation. And a lot of people have thought that. There's a lot of theories that say that. There's a lot of theories that say that we're a product of aliens, as far as we were created by them, and we were dropped off by them here, and they stay around and watch us, and stay around in the outskirts, watching us, and make sure we don't blow ourselves up like we did in Mars, supposedly. Maybe.
Well, we're gonna fuck that up, ain't we?
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
There you go, our alien masters. You can't keep us from blowing ourselves up.
The Palladians and Arcadians and all those people. Yeah. But so again, a hell of a concept here, Jay, talking about this. And we're gonna eventually find out more as time progresses, as science progresses, as we're able to answer more questions here in the future. It's exciting times. I really do believe that, and especially in our generation, we've seen so much, change in technology, just exponential change in the years. I think more than any other generation ever. So again, it's just more to come. Obviously, we're going to see what this whole metaverse is going to bring, and we're going to get into more of that in the future. We're going to do another episode. We're going to get an author of a book that's written a book about the metaverse, and maybe get some more clarity on how this all works out and how this is all going to play out in the future. So again, a lot of questions are we living in a simulation? Maybe. Who knows? Time will tell, hopefully, and we'll figure it all out. But again, Jay, thanks so much for joining me on this episode of Dark Fringe Radio. Again, I wanted to remind you guys how you can listen to the podcast. Make sure you go to our website, darkfringeradio.com. Go there directly. You can see all our episodes and check out the website. And of course, social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Dark Fringe Radio, and also our YouTube at Dark Fringe Radio. So make sure you like and subscribe, all that stuff. And again, Jay, thanks so much. Anything else for the outro before we leave?
Speaking of all that we've spoken of, and that's some real deep conversation we've had.
Yeah.
Remember, life is short. You're never going to get out alive. So enjoy it while you can. Take advantage of the moments while you can. Obviously, knowing that you still have to go to work tomorrow. But just enjoy life. Enjoy those little moments. Be nice to people if you have the opportunity. Give them an opportunity.
Don't be a dick. There you go. That's it. Don't be a dick. I'll let Jay close. Jay says don't be a dick. So don't be a dick. Yeah. No hair week.
Jay's tagline. Don't be a dick.
Inside joke. Only me and Jay know about that. But anyways, thanks so much, you guys, for joining us on another episode of Dark Fringe Radio. And we'll see you guys again next week.